Afternoon. We are beginning Mishnah 18, which is the last Mishnah in chapter 1. We'll put it on the screen. This Mishnah is authored by Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel, and is actually a question of who is Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel. Our previous Mishnah was Shimon, who was the son of Rabban Gamliel. So it would seem it's the same name. It could be Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel. And so there are two different opinions as to who he is. So according to one opinion, it's as we had said the other day, that the previous Mishnah, which was Shimon, his son, was the same person, but that Mishnah was said in his younger years, but he wasn't a rabbi yet. He was called Shimon. And this is coming from later time when he became Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel. And the second opinion says, no, this is his grandson. There was another couple of generations in between, and they were Shimon, how you have names. So this person, we had Shimon, who was the son of Gamliel. He had another son whose name also was Gamliel, named after his father. And then the next generation, Rabbi Shimon Gamliel. And according to that, this Rabbi Shimon Gamliel was the father, according to this opinion, of Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi, who is the one who put the Mishnah together. So this is taking place right after the destruction, during the Roman period. He was the Nasi during the Bar Kokhba revolt, and it was a difficult time for the Jewish people, a very difficult time. So he says, Al shlosha dvarim ha'olam kayam. On three things the world is standing, not standing, but enduring is the answer is here. There is another version that puts the word omeid here, that the world stands. And the three things are al hadin, on judgment, on law, the al ha'emes, and on truth, the al hashalom, and on peace. Shenemar, as he quotes a verse, emes umishpat shalom shiftu b'sharechem, truth and judgments of peace you shall judge in your gates. Now, you may recall, Mishnah 2 told us there were three things that the world stood on. Al shlosha dvarim ha'olam, we said Torah, avoda, and gemilut chasadim. There was on Torah, on service, on doing mitzvos or prayer, and doing chesed, doing kindness. Is this arguing on that? The answer is no. We're talking about two different things. And then a couple of different explanations as to exactly, in fact, if we take the wording here to be kayam, that means endure, it's different than standing. That the previous Mishnah was talking about what is it that, in a sense, is for the creation of the world. When Hashem created the world, what was the purpose, and what are the things that made it worth it? Kayam is, once it's already done, what's gonna keep it going? So one of the ideas that's expressed, and that is by Rabbeinu Yonah, is in general, it takes a lot more to create something, to start something, than it does to keep it going. Right? If you want once something's going already, I mean, actually, you think of a car or something that's on wheels, that's heavy. It may take a lot of energy to get it going, but once it's rolling, it takes a lot less force to be able to keep it moving. Right? Another example is boiling water. Once it's reached the boiling point, you don't need as much heat to keep it on a simmer. So therefore, these items, which are din, to judge truthfully, emes, which is truth, which the Rabbeinu Yonah understands as following Hashem's ways. God is emes, His Torah is emes, we say, right? And His ways are emes, are true. So to follow in God's ways, and the idea of truth, we know obviously there's like higher levels of truth, but the simple truth is don't lie. Right? Even in something that's not relevant. So sometimes we call like white lies. Don't do white lies either. There's even something that's not important we shouldn't be lying in. And one of the reasons is because once you start doing that, you get used to it. And you get into the habit of not being truthful. And then when it comes to something important, you got into the habit already, and now you're going to continue to do it. And shalom is, according to Rabbeinu Yonah, says that everything, it's all encompassing, all the good stuff, everything in the world, the whole world. Another angle to understand this is that when it says al shlosha devarim over here, ha'olam, the word olam. So the word olam, we translate it as world. So when you think of the world, it's the existence of the world. So another way to look at it is it's not referring to the existence of the world in the big picture, it's society. The world means society. In order for society to be sustained, you need these three things. You need justice. You have to be able to, in your court system, to convict those who are guilty and to acquit those who are innocent. You have to be able to have a fair and equitable justice system that is going to keep people responsible for their actions. If you don't have that, you have chaos. The world ends up being very difficult to live in a society where there's no good legal system. MS, as we said, don't lie to each other. Again, if we can't trust each other, and we've spoken about this in a few other cases in different classes, that you can't have a society when you can't trust the person next to you. And if nobody trusts each other, society can't survive. And shalom, so shalom is obviously peace, but who's peace between whom? So peace between me and you. I mean, we want to have peace between our neighbors. That's on the one level. On the grander level, to have peace between countries, between different societies. It's not enough that we have peace within ourselves, but we also need to have peace with others as well. And again, if we don't have peace between countries, we're not going to have society because we're going to be at war all the time. Unfortunately, we see that all the time. So, so that's the according to this idea, this is referring to society as opposed to the previous Mishnah was talking about the existence of the world. The Tiferes Yisrael points out that a similar concept in that the other one was talking about sustaining the world, but he says even if you didn't have Torah, Avoda, and Gemilas Chasadim, if you have these three, if you have Din, Emet, and Shalom, if you have justice, truth, and peace, the world will survive. It won't be optimum. It's not, this isn't this, we need more than it. We want more than that, and it'll be on a higher level if it's more than that, but at least it could partially sustain the existence. And he elaborates a little bit in terms of din, the justice being that how we do with the other people, that a person should not hurt another person, damage another person, both physically in your body, financially, and in your emotion and emotionally, that we shouldn't, not only you shouldn't be hurting someone else in their body and not taking their money, but also their honor, their soul, that you shouldn't make a person feel good. And if you make a person feel bad, that's also a problem. That's part of being just with other people. MS, again, not to cause hurt through a lie. And again, he's not looking at it just simply not to lie, but using lies to hurt other people, or lashon hara, right? Speaking badly about other people. And finally, he says, shalom is not only shouldn't we cause harm to another, we should be at peace with another person, but if we see someone else who is having a conflict with somebody else and is doing something to cause conflict with someone else, we should actively work to make peace, similar to had we had earlier from Hillel to be a rodef shalom, a pursuer of peace, here also. And what another angle he points out is we should actively help other people with their needs, whether again be physical, monetary, or emotional, or advice, etc. And by doing so, when we are helping other people with their personal needs, then that will also cause love and peace in the world. And these three areas, he says, are also correspond to how human beings, how we act, in the sense that we have three different areas. We have action, physical, right? How we do. We have speech, and we have thought, right? So each one of these is covered here in terms of not hurting somebody else physically, not speaking in a way that's going to be hurting someone else, and having in terms of how we act, how we react, how we feel about other people, to be at peace with them as well. So all those three are covered here. And we'll have to hold it there for today. Have a great day, everyone.